Welcome back to Skype, Sandra. So, after successfully completing your K2 base camp trek, you visited K2 base camp, you visited Rock Peak, Cambodia. Now you're back in Skardu. So, how was the K2 base camp trek?
Oh, it was amazing to be able to see K2 like that. We were very lucky to have really good weather where we had a clear view, and it just fantastic to be. We actually met some of the climbers and got a chance to talk to people that were up there. So we had a wonderful time just being in the middle of such giant mountains, such historical mountains. It was amazing.
Brilliant. And before you planned the trip, you had to apply for the visa. How was the visa process?
I was a little confusing trying to get all the right information. There were a few questions about what we were doing in Pakistan, but Trango was able to explain all of it. So it just took longer than expected, maybe 2 or 3 months.
Brilliant, yeah. And while you were on the trek, obviously you started walking from Ascoli onwards,
Yeah.
So how many days did it take you to Islamabad, get to base camp and back?
Oh, all the way from Islamabad. Well, there's one day of the flight to Skardu. Then there's the jeep ride, all day jeep ride to Ascoli, and then about 6 days up to Concordia, maybe, and then Broad Peak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how difficult the trek is? Do you think that you need to do some specific preparations that or trainings before you starting the trek, or anyone who's moderately fit they can do this trek?
You should plan on being very fit. There's not a lot of spots to stop if you can't make it from one camp to the next. You really have to make sure you make it to the next stop because the porters have to plan ahead on where you're going to have your campsite. The hardest part is that most people would expect, like I did, expected more trails. This is a lot of moraine over a glacier. So you're going over these pressure ridges, very rolling rock, moraine, very steep. And I think one person measured it as one day she went 1,000 meters up and 800 meters down just to get 200 meters total for the day. But you're basically going really high up over these ridges. So there's a lot of hiking involved. So you really have to be prepared for that. And it's probably more endurance than it is speed. If you go too fast, you can tire yourself out. So it's better to work on being prepared to hike for 6 or 7 or 8 hours if it takes it. Going uphill at altitude can be very difficult.
Yeah. And how was the weather while you were there on the way to K2 base camp?
We had very unusual weather. It was very clear, very beautiful. We had very sunny weather, but it was very hot. We had one person actually get heat stroke. We were able to cool her down and get her going, and she perked right up as soon as she was feeling better and was strong for the rest of the trip. But you do have to if it's hot out, be very careful, take your time. Do not ever run when it's hot outside. That's a basic rule because it can get very hot. And then the same day, it can get overcast and windy not long later. But we had to compress our schedule because we did have such beautiful weather that we were going to climb Pastore. So we had to try to get all of that in a short period of time. And that was difficult to try to do more things when you're not acclimated completely. But that was because there was a storm coming. And this storm is still ongoing. It's been quite a few days now that people have not been able to go over the pass, and it's been snowing and stormy. So when it's stormy up there, it is very stormy. When it's nice, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. But how cold did it get overnight? Did it drop down to -5 or minus?
I don't know the exact temperature. We were trying to follow some of the weather reports, but when you're sleeping on a glacier, You have to have a thick pad to sleep on, and you have to have a very warm sleeping bag. So I think mine goes to minus 20 or something. Yeah. So, and yeah, because no matter how hard you try, you can't always wrap up completely. But the important thing is you need a very thick pad underneath to keep you warm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And while you were there on the K2S camp trek, how was the food, the staff, and the people around you?
Oh, the porters, the cook were fantastic. The food was very good. Uh, there was a difference in our group of who liked spicy food and who didn't. So the cook was constantly trying to balance it. So some meals, there would always be some mix of some spicy foods and some non-spicy. So he was trying to work that out. And some people had high protein diets, and some people had more vegetarian type diets. So the cook had to balance all of that and did a very, very good job.
Brilliant. Yeah. And the water, how did you manage to drink, the clean water while you were
Well, mostly we were drinking the boiled water. I did bring a filter, but it was so slow. It was a lot easier to just take the boiled water, and they would boil it for about 5 minutes. But then when it's really hot out, you've got a bottle of very hot water. So I risked it and drank some of the glacier water, and I think I got sick from that. But you have
Do you
to bring
recommend?
medicine for traveler's diarrhea.
Do you recommend bringing water purification tablets and water filters?
Yes, because definitely, regardless of how much water you carry, when it is hot, we all ran out of water. And that can be very dangerous when you're in a desert and you run out of water. So it was a real problem on one day. That was the day that one person got heat stroke.
Yeah. So after completing the K2 base camp trek, obviously the weather was there. You couldn't cross the Rango pass, and you had food. And how was the jeep ride from Ascoli back to Skardu?
Uh,
Questions, that roads are.
it was scary. There were some switchbacks that were very, and some of the roads, but the driver seemed to really know how to manage the roads. It's just that from where I'm from, it would be very scary to try to drive those roads. But that driver seemed to be very prepared for it, and to stay alert for that many hours while driving is very surprising. So, but they should make an amusement park ride out of it.
Yeah. So overall, that how would you describe the services, logistic, and support provided you by Trango Adventures?
Everything, fixing the schedule, rearranging based on the weather is essential. And that was done very well. Somehow they predicted that the weather was going to turn for many days. So we came back and we compressed the schedule to get our Pistori Peak climb in early and to try to get to K2 base camp. It was rough, but necessary. When you get all the way up there, the storms can be very bad. So some people stayed up and they loved the snow, but it's very difficult to come down in the wet weather like that.
Yeah. And overall, that you've been in Pakistan now 15, 16 days.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
No, it's been more, but
It's more than
17, yeah.
So now you completed your K2 base camp. There you will fly back to Islamabad, then you will fly back to your home.
Yes.
Overall, did you feel safe in the country? Do you think it's a friend who welcomes tourists from around the world?
Uh, Definitely. It was very nice being around all the people working were fantastic, such hard workers. This is a very tough climate and they really helped a lot and they were very nice the whole time.
Yeah. So we wish you all the best for your journey towards your home country, and it's been a pleasure to have you in Skardu in Pakistan. And well done for the K2 base camp trek, visiting all those 800-meter giants. So pleasure to have you guys.
Thank you so much.